Right, Crouchy, all the way back in our first series, your agent, he wasn't keen on this podcast, was he? How does he feel now? Has he been one round or...?
Yeah, he listens to it now.
If he saw you as a mother superior, would he change his mind? Or
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I'm a grown man, so I don't tell him everything that I'm doing. I certainly didn't tell him I was doing this today.
How did you two first meet, Crouchy?
Oh, amazing story. Ledley King, he was a top player when we were kids, and he had an agent, and I'd never even heard of having an agent, but we're 14, believe it or not. And Ledley sort of recommended me to the agent I have now. Yeah, so it's like, what's that, 24 years later, I'm still with the same agent. Yeah, he bought me with a couple of pairs of Adidas boots and a trackie.
That was what, a box turned up at your house, did it?
Box turned at my house, and I was like, oh my God. Mum, this is the guy. This is the guy. Brand new Predators.
What an investment that is from your agent. So he has probably got that off someone he knows at Adidas. So let's say you spent 200 quid. You've had moves totaling, what, I don't know, 60 million quid?
I'd like to say I paid the Preds back.
I think you probably have, yeah.
Over the course of time. You know, for me, I moved for £60,000 from Tottenham to QPR when I was 18. And Jerry Francis said to me, we laugh about this now with Jerry, he says, oh, I don't speak to agents, so you don't, you know, if you come down, you'll have to do the deal yourself. So I was like, Dad, we better go down, like, we need to cut the agent out completely. Doesn't speak to agents. Anyway, my agent called me once I'd signed the deal, and he said, I've just had Jerry on the phone. I said, oh yeah? He said, he's laughing his head off. And he basically pulled the wool over my eyes. I mean, he deals with agents every day of his life. Of course he does, a football manager. And we've just signed the worst deal in football history.
So at that point, you knew that managers are playing you the other way round. The agent's very much in the middle, and it's the manager can play your situation easily, as much as you're playing.
Could easily on a young player. You know, for me, it was an amazing deal. I was on £300 a week at Spurs, and me and my dad negotiated 800 quid a week, 4-year deal, I think it was.
4 years?
It was like, I think it might have been 3 years or something like that. I thought, we've nailed this, Dad. I was living at home. I had 800 quid a week in my pocket. Like, that's awesome. If you'd asked me, do I regret that? I would say no, because QPR put me on the map. I went to QPR. I loved every minute of it. I won Player of the Year. And then I moved for a record fee at that time to Portsmouth. Then I went to Villa for $5 million.
So the deal you negotiated versus the deal your agent justified why you're with him then?
I'd say it was considerable about more than I was on, without a doubt. 10 times more.
What's the most ludicrous thing then agents have been asked to do? Like, if, let's say you get a puncher on the M6.
I know some footballers that would call their agent for absolutely anything. You know, do you know any restaurants? Can you book me a hotel? Flights? You know, they do the whole lot. Definitely.
Kids' birthday parties you hear about?
Kids' birthday parties. I know players that haven't had an email address until they were in their 30s. That's a true story. If you're a good player, you can be sort of just put in a bubble by the agent, and because at the end of the day, the only thing you've got to do is be good at football and everyone wins. So sometimes you can end up losing touch with reality.
So you don't feel you've ever got your agent to do anything too outlandish?
No, listen, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not in that bubble either, because I have been, without doubt.
Some players do need agents, don't they? Do you remember that story, Chris, about Carlos Tevez? When he was playing for City, I think it was, and he never opened his own post. Just either he couldn't read English, or he just thought it was beneath him. And he got a driving ban, didn't find out about it because he didn't open his post. So then he paid someone to go round to his house and just open his post for him. Just open some envelopes for him.
And that sort of falls under the agent's role, generally.
Yeah, I'd say it goes under that bracket.
So your agent, they're available 24 hours a day?
I'd say so, yeah. My agent's never off the phone, never off it. So if you want to call him, you can, I think, yeah.
What's the latest you've called him?
He'll call me at like 10 p.m. and that's too late for me these days. You know, at the moment I'm on this Messiah about 8:30. And I'm lights out at 10 there.
Yeah.
So
this whole idea, Chris, of you becoming an agent, Crouchy thinks you can do it. I've got a lot of faith in you as well. So the scenario I'm going to put you in, you have got to try and find a club for Peter Crouch, who has been retired for 6 months. Crouchy, you're going to play the role of a football club chairman.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, agent.
Now listen, I have a client, Peter Crouch, excellent footballer. You've heard of him, I'm sure. He's still working.
Is he though?
Yeah.
How serious is he to get back in the game?
Well, what he wants to play, and here's the thing: your club it needs a face, someone to rally around. Everyone knows Peter Crouch; they love the podcast.
What is he going to bring to my football club on the pitch?
He's a great player.
Is he though? He's 38 now.
He's a great player. He's a great striker. Proven.
He was. I think he was, and great in the loosest of terms.
Yeah. Oh, I can't argue with that.
Could have argued a bit more.
You just reach a point, don't you? It's no. I think you're a great player.
This is my problem with you, right? I did say I think a chairman could break him. It's a ruthless business. I've just broken him in 2 minutes.
Have you got any other players, Chris, you want to push? Andy Carroll or?
Well, no, because I wouldn't represent two players. I've learned this now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
he's learned
represent
that.
two players that are deemed to be similar-ish. If I didn't feel as much interest, I'd probably flog the 17-year-old then. So he's going to be the new Crouch.
Why don't you do a bog-off deal so you're buy one, get one free? So you're selling the 17-year-old, but as part of that, you get your other client, Peter Crouch, in on the deal. Do you see what I'm saying?
You're not really grasping this agent stuff, are you?
I mean, the bog-off deal is quite a basic one. You see it in most high street shops.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about one.
Wouldn't it be great if an agent broke into that? I said, you buy one, you get Crouch free.
Fun and games.
What do you get your agent for Christmas then? I take it you've got to get because it's like with abs, it must be a bit of a stress to find a suitable present.
Or do you get your agent to get your agent a present?
Yeah.
A lot of people would do that. I can't say I've ever got him anything.
You've never got him a present?
I don't think I have.
Does he get you stuff?
He sent me a hamper every year.
So that's 24 years of hampers.
Yeah.
You've never got him anything. Do you send him a card?
No. While we're on this subject, the New Year's Eve text,
Yeah.
where do you stand on that?
You never replied to me.
Oh.
Did you send one?
Yeah, I did actually. I'll read it to you.
The New Year's Eve, I just don't even look.
No.
10:53.
So
I sent this.
You sent this, yeah, you were one of those early ones. Oh, I'm
Before
with
the
little
networks.
gag. I'm getting early before the mad rush. Don't give a
I put enjoy tonight, lad. Love to the family.
Oh, yeah.
There's two blue ticks on there as well.
Oh, that hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, hold on a minute. You have asked me
Yeah,
for
look,
something.
red at
He
11.
hasn't just said New Year.
11:30.
By the way.
I have said New Year.
Hello, mate. Happy New Year. Are you happy to do a phone call on our 5 Live show tomorrow at 9:20? No stress if not. That's not Happy New Year.
My point is,
that
it was a Happy New Year.
not Happy New Year.
It's a Happy New
Regards
Year.
to the family.
Didn't reply though, did
No,
you?
I didn't. But if you'd have said Happy New Year, I'd have gone, thanks, mate. I wouldn't
okay.
you're right, I wouldn't have.
Crouchy, what have you been up to?
I actually, believe it or not, got roped into a school trip. We went to the local gardens, my little 4-year-old, and I was the class helper. Had the teacher, we had the class assistant, and a parent, and I was the parent. I loved it. We looked after them. I had my little group of four kids that I was responsible for.
Can you remember their names now?
Yeah, there was. I had Maggie, I had Rosalind, I had Liberty, who's my little girl, and there was only 3 actually. Sorry, not 4.
So you've lost one already.
Well, yeah, I better go
She's
back.
still at Wisley Gardens.
So really, this is your first experience of managing, isn't it?
Well, it was really, yeah. I mean, I had them in formation, lined up. I had 2 either side and 1 at the other side. So, yeah, we just went in the sort of flat back 4.
Any problems? Discipline issues?
No,
or-
do you know what? They're all absolutely good as gold. No crying in the souvenir shop when I didn't buy them anything. We had our little bags and we picked up various plants and things that had fallen on the floor. Obviously, we didn't take them off.
We picked up plants that had fallen on the floor.
Yeah, you know, like little flowers and
blossom or-
acorns and, you know, just little various bits that fall off trees.
Items
and
of foliage.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And put them in little bags. And then we planted, you know, the little plant, we got the bulb and we put some soil in, planted the bulb. Yeah, it's been all go, really.
It's certainly a change of pace, isn't it?
Hi, it's Peter Crouch from That Peter Crouch Podcast. If you like what you hear, click the link in the description. Click the link in the description. What does that mean?